Political parties, including the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, are set to battle for 94 legislative seats in the federal and state parliaments. That's in Saturday's supplementary elections. That's tomorrow. Now, supplementary governorship elections would hold in Kebbi and Adamawa states tomorrow. Recall that in the last general polls, INEC declared winners for 26 governorships, 104 senatorial, 329 House of Reps, and 925 assembly seats across the country. Several polls were declared inconclusive, while others were cancelled due to irregularities and violence. Now, attention shifts to Adamawa State, where incumbent Governor Ahmadu Fintiri, PDP, slugs it out with APC's only female governorship candidate still standing. Jamiu.
Yeah, that's where all eyes will be. And you see, we should not allow propaganda to take the better part of journalism these days. Adamawa, whether we like it or not, is a PDP stronghold. Atiku is there because of Adamawa. He has stayed back. Yesterday, he issued a statement and he has been campaigning. Now, between Fintiri and Binani, the PDP is in the lead with about 31,000 votes.
Yes.
And with BVAS, I doubt if that can be overturned. Yeah. Well, maybe that time for the first female governor is not yet ripe. I'll try as much as possible to be objective. It is almost impossible for Binani to overtake Fintiri. Sorry, in the same way where in Kebbi, the APC is leading with about, I think, 46,000 votes from the... and if you see the way Kebbi's election is structured, 21 local governments, elections we hold in some polling units in about 20 local governments. So it's, with BVAS, it's almost impossible for you to overturn a 46,000 lead, especially given the close contest in these elections.
Yeah, today, share sentiments. I would have loved to see the first female governor in my country.
Well, I think the fact of the matter is that, like you said, sentiments are loud. People are very emotional.
Yeah.
Because they are emotional, they become sentimental. When they become sentimental, they didn't look at the facts and figures.
Judgment is skewed.
So the issue of this election is that even if the woman scores all the votes tomorrow, I doubt whether he can beat the governor by that margin, 31,000 margin, if all those voters come out in those two local governments. Another thing is that we should just be realistic. Like I was telling some people that President Muhammadu Buhari, he contested 3 times. He won the 4th time when he built bridges and he corrected some errors. So why must somebody make a try for the first time and believe that by nook or crook, he must emerge winner?
And beat, so the problem is that, beat the incumbent.
And beat the incumbent. It is not so easy for the very first time.
But tell me, I want to be educated here. Yeah. Is incumbency a factor?
With what has happened in Nigeria this year, it is no more a factor. Why? The fact that there are some 5 governors who lost their bid to go to the Senate. Yeah. The president was defeated in his home state. The president-elect was defeated in Lagos. And yet people are shouting that the election was rigged. See, I can't know. Yeah, people are afraid to say anything. Like I said, emotion gives rise to sentiments. And people are no longer... Politics is about figure. The game of politics is about figure. How many people you can get to your size. Even 5 votes matters a lot to a good politician. So you need a lot of time. We have to be patient with democratic principles. Those are the principles that you must cultivate people, you must campaign very well, you must convince them that when they cede power to you, you will use the power for their advantage. But people should not just sit down in one corner, like you said, media, and begin to say that, hey, the election has been rigged, hey, the woman should win. Yeah. No, it is not by your right.
Yeah.
It is the level of might.
Level of might.
Political might that you have to win.
Jamiu, women in politics is at issue in Nigeria.
Well, they are just not there yet, especially at the governorship level. I saw some propaganda, you know.
It's the same as saying America is not yet ripe for a female president.
Yeah.
It's relative.
So, no, now we have a lot of things in common with the Americans. You know, the election between Trump and Joe Biden held on November 3rd. The last result was November 3rd, 2020. The last result of the presidential election was uploaded onto the server, a server that was supposed to be live on 5th of May, 2021, 7 months after. Check the internet, you'll see these results there. So, but whether it was because in some counties and some districts, there had to be a recount over and over again. Trump instituted 62 cases to stop Joe Biden. 62. So in Nigeria, just like our brothers in Labour Party are attempting to do now, and I keep telling them, they will first need to kill Atiku or destroy PDP before you go
forward.
Meet
overtake the number two.
Yes. Yes. So because just like the character of a PDP in Lagos, he did his own in a very funny manner. He went for someone who
scored 68,000 votes.
He scored 62,000 votes. He went to display somebody who scored 750,000 votes. And you know what he took to the tribunal? He said the incumbent and governor-elect Sanwo-Olu, he was talking about his certificate. And after leaving that, you know, he knows that if he takes out number one, he will have number two to contend with. And he went to Chinedu Patrick, close rival, and said he was not duly nominated. So he said the votes of the two of them will be erased, and they will now give it to him.
He will become the winner.
So that was his own pathway to victory. When he knew that, I mean,
we love magic.
People love
magic.
Majid, but you know that in politics, I understand. I don't know about you and Tunde.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Plus 2 is 22, not 4.
Yeah. I'm sorry, let me also say this. I think Nigerians should understand something today. We are not taking some of these states into consideration. In the presidential election, APC scored 8.79 million votes. In governorship, APC scored 7.7 million votes. PDP scored in presidential 6.9 million votes. Governorship, it came down to 5.8 million. Now, Labour Party, 6.1 million votes presidential election. And guess what they recorded in governorship? Less than a million, 689,000.
Why do you think that was so?
They just lost 89% of their relevance, influence, and you see, when we talk about structure, this is where the structure came in. You see, structure, especially when you have members of, especially when you have governors, governors are principalities. But for BVAS now, that allowed 20 governors to lose control of their states in the presidential elections. 20 governors lost their states. So, 5 governors lost their bid to return.
To go to the Senate.
To go to the Senate.
So, it is only BVAS that can make this happen.
Impossible.
Now, there's also what we call the bandwagon effect. Yes, I mean, Obi is our candidate. He has lost. I don't even know who the governorship candidate is. In fact, in some states, the Labour Party didn't have candidates for Senate and reps. That is the truth. So,
except in Abia.
Yeah, of course, except in Abia. And look at the way Soludo fought for his life in Anambra
State.
So, and look at the guy in Imo. You see a 360 degrees. You know, no two elections are the same.
Even look at Nasarawa State.
Yes. Now, Imo presidential election was won by Labour Party, but governorship an House of Assembly, of course, there's no governorship. House of Assembly election, 27 over 27.
Yeah. Okay. Tunde, looking at the totality of our elections, do you think we are a long, long way from home?
Well, we are not a long, long way from home. Like I said, we have to be patient with these principles. With the introduction of BVAS this year, it has shown that anybody can kill a giant at any point in time. The BVAS trick.
Yeah, but what about election day violence and all that?
Well, I think maybe you call it voter suppression. You can only suppress. Okay. You can only suppress vote where you are very popular and where you are very strong.
Yeah.
If you are not strong, you cannot suppress because security agencies will be there for you.
But if you are popular,
people will vote.
If you are popular, say in Lagos, do you need to worry what the opponent might be doing?
Well, I think when we cite the example of Lagos, people were so liberal and people let off guard during the presidential election, thinking that every other person will play by the rules. I think by the time we had the governorship election, everybody was on guard. Look at the Victoria Garden City. You know the result. In the governorship election, the party in Lagos State won by 25,000 votes.
Yeah.
So what was the magic of the presidential election? Where were those voters? It means the voters you had during the presidential election, they were not even educated. Now, people said, I try to educate some people. If you say a Labour Party has won Lagos State by only 10,000, they had only 2 members of the Houses of Assembly.
Yeah.
Then their voters just went to the polling booth. They were not voting for members of the Senate and House of Rep. They were just supporting the president. So when you vote for the president alone, who do you expect to support him in carrying out his work? So they are not educated voters. Okay. They are misguided voters. The reasons why they did not have a single Senate seat.
Voter education should come from who?
From the party and the INEC.
Okay.
Party has to, like he said of structure, if you have 30 members, 40 members in Lagos State House of Assembly, each of the assembly candidates will campaign in his constituency and educate his followers about how to vote. That is very, very important.
Okay. Majid, Nigerian politicians are bad losers. Is it possible to factor that into what we're discussing?
No, of course. And then I would give you an example now with what they are planning to do with the 10th National Assembly. You know, the opposition, they know that they don't have the numbers. Okay, in terms of the total numbers, this is the first time we are going to have a plurality, so to say, in the National Assembly. For example, in the Senate, we have about, I think, 7 parties. So it's going to be called off with like a rainbow. With APC having 57, PDP 29, Labour Party 6 senators, NMPP 2, SDP 2, and YPP 1. So you can see that. So now we can see a situation where the APC has to be very, very careful to allow consensus and a lot of politicking and strategy, because if it's not as if we have an Ekweremadu situation where an opposition person became a deputy senate president or a principal officer, but we can have a situation where somebody in the APC who is popular can work with some opposition, because we are not having an APC PDP situation now.
Oh yes.
We are having APC versus the others.
Legged horse race.
It's even good in the Senate. It is worse in the House of Reps. With the margin is not that much, and what is at stake on tomorrow is not really much. We have 11 seats in contention in the Senate for tomorrow. 98 already concluded out of 109, while in the reps we have 35 in contention, with 325 already determined, and we are going to 360. So total in National Assembly is 46, where we have APC leading in reps.
National Assembly.
National Assembly, yeah, total
460.
46.
460, yeah.
While the remaining 48 are for state houses of assembly. So that's why if you add the two, you get 94 seats that are in contention in 2,660
But mine
polling
is,
units.
our election should have been structured in a way that these supplementary polls are avoided.
What?
Isn't it possible?
No.
It happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere.
Georgia, almost every election cycle in Georgia, it goes into a runoff. Especially when there's a balance of terror between the two.
What it means is that all the parties that are going into election tomorrow, they worked hard. All the candidates worked hard. And when you have all the candidates working hard, no other party is strong enough to rubbish the others and have the majority. So, and that is the kind of democracy we need in this country. No party will be powerful enough as to march on the other parties. Let everybody belong. And it will also discourage the issue of carpet crossing, or people leaving their party and decamp to another party. It means you can make your party to be strong. By the fact that you are strong enough to defeat sitting governors in states.
Jamil, might I throw in this number three man in the country, the Senate president? Are you looking at the calculations?
It's a very, very tough balance. Like I said earlier, we are going to have a very, very interesting Senate. Now, already we have number one man in Nigeria coming in, the president-elect, a Muslim. We have Muslim Southwest. Number two, Muslim Northeast. And the Northwest are telling us now that they gave the highest number of votes to APC, that you cannot overrule us. And most of the people there are Muslims. Most of the senators from the place, they are Muslims.
So what are we saying?
They are saying that, yes, we are also in this race. Except party discipline will come to play, and Ashwadu will bring its dexterity as a politician. But then Ashwadu should understand that the way he's able to control Lagos, he can't do that in national level. Like somebody once said jokingly,
Lagos no be Nigeria.
No, he said,
and the other way around.
He said in Lagos, you people are playing Ludo. At the national level, it is chess.
Chess.
It's chess. No, chess is even a top. I think it's about the highest level of this thing in terms of intelligence. So, and you don't have to speak English for you to play chess. But for you to play Scrabble, you need to understand the mastery of English. But chess, a 5-year-old boy who is a genius can defeat the Kasparovs of this world. That's chess. But Ludo, Ludo is it peck and go or peck and whatever? I was thinking another. It's just pedestrian. So it's going to
even
be
snakes and ladders.
So Ashwadu needs a lot of wisdom and political dexterity to manage what is coming.
So
with the
positions
Assembly.
of the number 3 and number 4 man.
Yes.
Are essential here.
Very, very essential. And
very crucial.
Another funny thing is that is APC zoning to the south.
That would depend.
If APC zones to the south, is it going to be southeast? Of course, southwest is out. It's going to be southeast
or south.
So it's a delicate balance, and that's why I said if a popular senator with the wherewithal believes is what is salt as an APC member, can get support from and do another Ekweremadu Saraki stuff. So it is a very delicate balance that Ashwadu needs a lot of wisdom and bring out his political dexterity to resolve.
But again, talking about our politics, it beats me hollow that each time anything goes wrong, and of course that's usually caused by the politician, the INEC, the what do you call him now?
The umpire.
The umpire takes the rap. Natural?
Well, I think we are just, it's because we are not playing by the rule. INEC has tried its best. Yes, no election is perfect anywhere in the world. But we should, as citizens, as stakeholders, we should try as much as possible to play our own role. Like people suppressing voters, you should not allow the people to decide who they want to rule them.
Yeah.
As per the issue of balancing the National Assembly, I think this is the time the cohesiveness of the APC will be put to the greatest test, because the party has to soon some offices to certain parts of the country. And if the zoning could not work, it means it will not work in 2027. So the zoning in APC has to be done with all intelligence, with all wisdom, with all negotiation, so that the party can be stable. If the party cannot afford to live, for instance, now, when you are talking of South-South now, look at the politics is a game of numbers. How many votes did South-South deliver for the presidency? How many votes did the South-East deliver for the presidency? And for anybody to come from any of this zone, you must be strong enough at home to be able to command the respect of other people from other zones of the country. That is very, very crucial. So, like he said, if there's a senator that is powerful enough or strong enough from other parts of Nigeria, different from where the APC zone the thing to, it could take the balance.
All right. Today, and Majid, we must terminate the show here, but not before thanking both of you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly.